My last video on how much relatively cheaper it is to buy a home in Nova Scotia and then Ontario, even after considering the income levels and taxes, got a surprising amount of interest. So funny enough, in the comments, people stopped saying about how much less money people make here or how much more taxes people pay here, but instead just shifted to saying that effectively Nova Scotia's bad or it's a dump or it's gone downhill. And to that I say, what are you talking about? Give me something specific on how that would compare to present-day Ontario, because these videos are all about comparisons to each other, not a comparison to some sort of imaginary utopia. Hi, my name is Chris Melnick, and I'm a realtor in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Today, I'm going to talk about the quality of life in Nova Scotia versus Ontario. First, let's talk about the aesthetics around the greater Halifax area. In short, everything has become better looking over the last 5 years or so. A lot of really nice both public and private projects have been built, which are just stunning. And as more people come here, more and more neighborhoods are being transformed from what used to be considered kind of sketchy to family-friendly. These are neighborhoods like Spryfield, Timberley, Fairview, and the North End. Rundown homes are being torn down or are renovated. There are also more amenities now than ever here, with new grocery stores, coffee shops, and breweries constantly opening. There was recently even a Tesla dealership that opened in Dartmouth. Looks-wise, everything just keeps improving. And credit where credit's due, the government here is big on creating housing developments and improving infrastructure to improve traffic. They're struggling to keep up due to record-breaking immigration, but they are trying. You can watch my most recent real estate news video to see the new highways and ferry that they're planning. Another thing people talk about is worse healthcare and transit in Nova Scotia. And I'd agree. In fact, those were my top 2 cons in my moving from Toronto to Halifax video. But the thing is, those 2 points are largely irrelevant to healthy young people that drive. That's why there are so many young people and young families from Ontario coming to the well-located, quiet, safe, affordable suburbs here to start a new life. And if you've seen my most recent market forecast video, that's currently the busiest market segment. Meanwhile, if you compare this to the Greater Toronto area, it's not uncommon to have commutes of an hour and a half each way or more, and they're getting worse. Random assaults are surprisingly frequent on public transit. Car theft and home invasion is so common and dangerous that at one point the police were encouraging people to make it easier to get robbed to avoid conflict. Now, these things are just inconceivable in the Halifax area. And so we're clear, I'm not saying that Nova Scotia is perfect. And I'll acknowledge that some things like healthcare and transit have gotten worse. But looking at the big picture in comparison to Ontario, for a lot of people, it's a no-brainer. And that's another reason why so many people from Ontario are coming to Nova Scotia. And if you'd like help buying a home in Nova Scotia, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the description. Goodbye.